Hi, this is Glenn Andrade from Digital Synergy, and welcome to part 2 of my Groovepages demo walkthrough. This is where I'm going to be doing a complete funnel build from scratch, and in a moment we're going to continue building our sales funnel to show you how to set up a sales funnel using Groovepages and Groovesell. Alright, so if you did not see part 1 video that looks like this, I suggest you go back to my channel and watch it to get a real good understanding of what we're doing here. And this is what the thumbnail looks like. So if you go to my channel, check that out, you'll find it there. And I'm going to be doing a quick recap just to get you up to speed as well. So in part 1 of our training, we built out our funnel, our opt-in page of our funnel rather. And let me, let's go back just in case. So when you log into Groovepages, if you don't have an account, you can sign up for free. The link below, it costs you nothing, and you can get Groovepages and Groovesell for free. So go ahead and click on the link below. So when you log in, you're going to get a screen that looks like this. You're going to go to Groovepages. Okay, and then you're going to see all your projects or your sites or whatever that you're working on. And we were working on this particular one, Bark Collar funnel demo. Okay, and so we built the opt-in page for the complete funnel. So let me show you just to as a recap, a reminder what that complete funnel looks like. So this is the opt-in page, okay, and again this is what we're doing is we're selling a bark collar, no shock bark collar, and we want to get people interested in stopping their dogs from barking. So what we're doing here with this opt-in page is we're getting people to sign up to get this free report, free ebook on how to stop their dogs from barking. So this is the opt-in page. We built this last time, okay, in part 1. All right, now the next phase of the funnel is after they enter their name and their email and hit get my report, then they're going to go to a basically which is a thank you page / I'm going to present them with an offer, okay? And so when they click on that, it's going to say, thank you, please go to your email to access your free ebook and how to stop your dog from barking. And so I remind them that it's going to take them a little bit of time perhaps to get that free ebook, but in the meantime, check out what I'm offering you. How would you like to get these free ebooks? So this is what we're going to be working on in this part. And also, after they've reached this one and they say, okay, yeah, I want to know, they click on that link, it's going to take them to this page, which is the actual offer. So this is the offer page. It gives them the price. They can go ahead and check out. And in the next video, this is where I'm going to show you how we link this up to using Groovesell. So this is where we set up our products to sell our products using Groovesell and connecting it to a payment gateway such as PayPal or Stripe or any other one that you might have. And so we're going to get to this page hopefully as well. I'm going to try to do this a little quicker than I did last time, so bear with me, but we're going to try to get through this. I just want you to have a full understanding of how GrooveFunnels works and Groovepages and help you basically build a funnel like this on your own. So let's go ahead and get started. So what we want to do at this point is we want to go to our opt-in page that we were working on. So just as a reminder, last time we built this page. So I'm gonna back out of here and pretend like we're just starting. So what you want to do is we saved that last week. So you'd go back to your Groovepages, click on there, and then look for your saved project. Okay, and you find it, you hit open editor, and it takes you there. Okay, so one thing that's just been kind of bothering me, I'm going to move this over. I'm going to show you how to move this over a little bit. I know I said we didn't have to keep it perfect, but it is bothering me a little bit. So it'll just give me a chance to further show you how to move that spacing to look more like this one. But I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. I just want to show you real quick. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. So if you remember, we're working with blocks. We're working with what they call blocks. They have blocks, they have elements, there's pages, and there's pop-ups, okay? And on the right-hand side, this is what we can go in and stylize certain areas of the elements and the blocks that we're working with. So for this particular section right here, okay, this is where we configure our marketing autoresponder, okay? And I showed you last week that we set that up with Active Campaign. So that's all set up. But all I want to do now at this point is I just want to center this a little bit better, move this block, this entire section here, over to the left a little. So what we need to do is we need to find that block, the one that's, if you remember from last week, or our last training, sorry, part 1, it is our Active Campaign component. So we can use our breadcrumbs or hierarchy trail here to try to find that. So I'm trying to click in and see if we can find it this way. Okay, so there it is. See, Active Campaign component. That's what we want to find. And so what we're going to go from there is we're going to go to spacing, and let's adjust the margin to go negative. Oops, I'm sorry. That's not where we want to go. Let's go back. Sorry. What I meant to say is we want to find the container. Okay, so what it's held inside. Okay, and then we're going to go to spacing, and then we're going to do the same thing. Okay, and we're going to make negative, and there you go. You see how it's moving that whole section rather than just the email fields, what we were doing before. So I'm just going to bring this closer just to make it look a little bit nicer. Again, purely aesthetics, but I just wanted to give you that opportunity, or take that opportunity to kind of show you how to find the right section that you're working with. Okay, so now we have that. I'm going to go ahead and save that. Okay, and so from here, let's look at the next page that we want to build, right? So the next page we want to build, again, after they opted in, they're going to go to a thank you page, okay? And so let's see what we have here. So we're looking for some similar elements. So of course we have our header and we have our footer. We're going to be using that again. So what the best way to do this really is to go ahead and make a copy of our existing page. So we're going to go ahead and make a copy of this page, okay? All right, and the way that we do that is we go to our left-hand side here and we go to Pages, and we go to our home page, and I'm going to explain this a little bit more in detail in a moment, but for now we just want to go here, hit clone, okay, and now it's actually cloned the page. You see there it says home copy. Okay, so now we know that we're working with a clone of that first page. The reason that we cloned it is because I didn't want to have to rebuild the header and the footer. It saves a lot of time this way, right? So now we have this copied over, and we can basically get rid of any components that we're not using, and keep the ones that we're working with. All right, so now that we've done that, so let's take a look and see what we need. All right, so we need a headline and a paragraph. Let's just start there, okay? So we have a headline and we have a paragraph. So we can actually go ahead and just delete this section here. So we click on the text, and then you see this little trash. You click on that, and it's going to ask you, are you sure? And you say yes. So now we've actually used a container for that, which we no longer are going to need. So I'll go ahead and delete that as well. All right, so we're going to have to play with the spacing with this, which is fine. So you see, we have this text area selected, and we're going to go to our spacing, and then we're going to give it a margin here. So we don't want to go negative, we want to actually go positive. So like that, okay? And we're now going to change this to, we're going to copy, and paste, okay, and then copy, and this is our paragraph text, okay, we have our paragraph text there, and we're going to change the color and make that bold. So let's change the color first. So we go over here on the right hand display panel, and this gives you two modes, an expert mode, and this is just a simpler, just to do some really easy, more common types of things. I usually like to just work in the expert mode, and then just choose what I want. So for now, we're going to want to change the color of the text. So we go into the text and we click on this area here, and we choose the color that we want. And I don't see it here, so we're just going to click in here and find it, something similar to what we're looking for, something like that. Okay, and so there you have it there. And then let's go back. Okay, the text is much smaller, so we'll go ahead and adjust that just a little bit. Again, we don't have to make it perfect, and we're using the Lato font here, so that's fine. That size. Make this bold. Okay, when you double click on this, you get this little text editor similar to like a WordPress or any word processor. Okay, and then we adjust that. All right, and then we have another text here, which could be a paragraph text. We can just make it larger, and then this is like a headline. So let's do another paragraph and then a headline. So let's see. We're going to go over to our elements, and we're going to put in our paragraph underneath and a headline, each one. Just put it where we want it. Oops, no, I don't want it there. I'm just going to put it there right now because I'll move it in a moment. Okay, so the headline is going to say copy and paste. Okay, and then in the meantime, text. Okay, in the meantime, text. Okay, so I'm just going to try to move this up now. In case I didn't mention it before, if you want to move any type of element or block or something like that, you just grab that little crosshair on the corner and you adjust it where you want. So there, I've moved that ahead. Obviously, we need to fix the spacing and the coloring here. So first thing I want to do is go ahead and center this. So I click on that, and I'm going to center this as well. All right, right now, because the spacing is so close because we used the previous one, it's conflicting with what I want to do right now. So I'm going to try to adjust this spacing to give us a little bit more room first. So let's go to the spacing, and we're going to go to the top margin. Remember, this is the outside area is the margin, and then the inside is what's referred to as the padding. So let's give it a little bit more air here, there. For now, I'm going to give it a lot so we have more room to work with up here. And I'm going to actually move this spacing up closer to the thank you, the way that it appears up here. Okay, spacing, and okay, like that. And then now let's see if we can, yeah, see, now we can actually select this and then center it. All right, good. So now let's go ahead and make this larger. And remember, for right now, remember this is in beta. There are a few bugs that you have to deal with. One of them, at least at the moment, is that don't use the sizing tool here because it'll just make problems. So just always use the tool for here until further notice. And it's quite easy because you're using this side anyway. And so we're just going to make that text bigger. All right, and we're going to give it more space so that we can actually make it even a little larger. Let's see. I'm not sure. It seems like that reverted back, so I'm going to try to push it back up there. Okay, and then this. We're going to try to move this more space from in the meantime to the headline. So that's the top. Okay, like that. And then we're going to make this larger. I thought I put a headline here. I don't know why it's so small. It's okay. Let's go to size, font. Okay. And the color is something similar to that. So we can change the color here. It's not a problem. All right. So let's see where we're at. Okay. Looks like it's they're using an italic. And it looks a little bigger, maybe. A little bigger. And spacing. Okay. So the spacing again is it's a little tricky, but once you get used to it, it's going to be a lot easier to work with, especially when they're actually changing this tool so that you can just pull this up right from within your layout mode, like right here on your desktop. I would just be able to pull this up, and that's coming. So that's going to be really awesome when that happens. All right. So the next section that we're working with is this area here, okay? And I'm gonna show you something that will save you a lot of time, because you know, I'll explain how you would build this. But once you have, let's say you've got a template or you've already done something similar to this, you can actually save it as a favorite or a style, and then it's available, and then you just pull it in, just like you would any of these other styled elements like these that I showed you last time. See there? So let's take a look here. So yeah, so I've already saved this, but I'm going to save something else to show you the idea. But I've saved this, right? So we need this again. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this in under here. Okay, and again, we'll need to adjust the spacing on the block. Okay, and that's great because we already had it, and now it's already saved. So we have that layout already saved. So the next section we would need is this area here. Okay, and if you remember, when you're looking at kind of what you want to do, you want to look at this and like, is it sections, is it columns, what is it? So this, when you're doing a layout, when you're doing a design like this, you need to think of this as four columns. Okay, so 4 areas, and in the blocks, in the design blocks, you're actually going to have stuff that's already designed for you. Like, so for example, here there's 3. This layout is already set. If you want something like this with little circle images, like that's already available to you. And then you have different types of things, you know, alert, calls to action, content, features. Okay, if you want a layout to look like that. Footers, navigation bars, forms, testimonials, you get the idea. So for what we're working with is we actually need something that has 4 columns. Now, as you know, I've obviously designed this already before, and I need to remember how I did that in terms of did I use a layout or did I build it from scratch. So I'm going to look real quick to see if there's something that's usable. If not, we can just build it from scratch. It's not a big deal. But I just want to show you that it is easier sometimes if you find something like this. If it had 4, that would be great to use. So let's take a look at no. I think I just created it from scratch. So I'm going to actually show you how to do that because we're going to need that for this next section here. So this is 4 columns. I'm sorry, 4 columns. And then underneath it, this is another separate section because you see it has this check mark and then it has text. So we can't use this same one. This has to be separate from this. So I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. So let's go back here and we're going to go back to I'm actually going to delete this. We don't need this. So I'm going to delete this whole block. You can see we're in the block, and I'm going to delete. And I'm going to say leave that for now in case we need some text like that. It'll just be easier to grab. So let's get what we need next, which is four columns. Okay. So in order to do that, remember we go to our blocks, and then we go to our wireframe, empty, and we want an empty container, and we're going to drop this where we want it. Okay, so it drops in there, and now remember we need four columns. So we find that in elements. We go to elements, we get 4 columns. Okay, and we drop that into our empty container. Okay, so see, now we have an area where we can just grab our text and copy and paste it inside of there. Actually, once it still says it's empty, but we can see that it's set up for 4 columns. Because it's empty, we need to tell it what we want to put in there, and that is text. So we're going to go ahead and put paragraph text in each of those. Okay, and now we can grab our text and paste it in. All right, so yeah, it's just simple copy and paste. Copy and paste. Okay, and then this looks like the text was bold. Oops. So make this bold, and it looks like we're using like a gray. Bold and gray, and then this one bold and gray. Okay, so as you can see, it's coming together. We have all of these elements now in place into our new layout. And again, I'm not going to mess with the spacing to make it perfect. You get the idea. So the next thing we need is another 4 column section or block. Okay, And this is actually it gets a little tricky, not trickier, but it's a little different because each one of these checkboxes is actually what they call a list item. Okay, so this is one piece of text that we put in there. This each one is individual. Okay, and I'll show you how to do one, and then I'm going to pause the video and then get all these in. So it's just redundant otherwise. So let's go ahead and show you how to do the first part to set it up, and then I'll populate all those. All right. So let's go, and what we can do here actually is we can just take this block and make a copy of it, a clone right here. So we go ahead and do that, and it makes a clone, and let's give it a little bit of space on our margin. All right, there. And let me see something here. Yeah, actually, we don't need any further text, so I'm going to get rid of what we got here just so it doesn't get in our way. So I'm going to delete that block. Okay, so now it's gone. Okay, so now what do we need? We go over here, and we need an area that allows us to do a check mark and some text. And it's basically a list, right? A list of things. So if we go to our Groovepages elements, okay, we're going to look in our text area, and we're going to look for, under lists, okay, they have two that are similar. One is an image list item, and one is an icon. We're not putting in an actual image like this. We're using an icon. We're going to be putting in an icon for that. So we're going to basically use this in our column. Let's see, back. All right. So what we're going to do is grab this. Oops. Wait, I take that back. What we want to do first is delete what's in this container because we're going to put something new in it. Okay. So right now there's text. Since we copied this, there's paragraph text in that. We don't want that. So we want to select the area that shows the text, and we want to delete. It says, do you want to confirm? Yes. Okay, so see now that it's empty. So let's go ahead and do that for all of these real quick. All right. Okay, so now we go to our icon list item, and we're going to drag that in. So we're going to put that there. We're going to put that there, so on and so forth. All right. And so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to copy our text, and we're just going to put it in here. Okay. And we're going to select on this little area here where we have the icon. See, it's selected. And we're going to go on here on the right hand side, and we're going to configure what we want. So we want a check mark. So we're going to type that in. Oops. And we're going to select the check mark. And we're going to go ahead, and I forget what size I use, so I'm just going to keep it on there for now. Hopefully it's good. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, and then I hit update. Okay, and then I want to give it a little bit more space here, which I'll do. See that? There's some space in between there. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a little space there so it's not so tight. So we click on that text area, and then we're going to adjust the spacing there. So we're going to go here, and it's on this side, and we're just going to give it a little bit more space like that. So let's take a look. Yeah, so that looks pretty good. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video, and because I don't want you to sit here while I copy and paste every single one of these. Basically, it's just doing the same thing over and over and over again. It'll take me a little while to do that. So I'm going to pause the video here. I'll be back in a few minutes. So we're back. So as you can see, we have this area all populated. I showed you exactly what I was going to do. And basically, it was just repetitive work going in and copying and pasting from the text that I had already done and bringing it over here. So that is, in theory, what I would do, right? But actually, I wanted to show you a little trick that would saves a lot of time, so that just in case you are working in something that you already have the layout and you already have it done in Groovepages, and we're actually going to I'm going to show you live, because I'm going to simulate that for this button that we have left to put in. But I did that actually as a shortcut for this section here, so I didn't have to really go in and copy and paste because I had already done it, right? So I didn't want to have to do it again. So what I did was I went ahead and I went into this Groovepages layout that I have saved, and I saved it out, and then it gave me the ability, now that I go to blocks and I go to design blocks and I go here, and then you can see I have it right here. So all I did was copy that, or not copy, just select it and drag it in. Now I'm going to show you what I did exactly, just with another element. So I'm going to do that with this element here for the thank you. It is this button here, okay? So I don't have to format it again. It's pretty simple to do, but I just want to show you what I did. So let's go ahead and go back. I'm going to save this. All right, we're looking pretty good here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my finished project that I'm working on. The one that I'm working on here is basically the recreation. It's for the demo, but I have the finished project saved elsewhere. So let me show you. So let's go into Groovepages. And this is the finished version. So we're going to go in here, and we're going to go, I'm going to show you about pages in a moment, but from the drop down I already have these pages selected, and I'm going to go to the thank you page that we're working on right now, and I'm going to go ahead and select this section, this block, right? And I want to go ahead and hit this favorite, and then it's going to ask you if you want to put it in any particular category. For now, I'm not putting it in any category. I just want to save it. I go ahead and hit save. Okay, I save it, and then you can see under the design blocks, you see that it's added there. So let's go back to our other project that we're working on, which is the demo. I'm going to open that project up, and we are going to go to, remember we cloned this page to create the thank you page. We're going to name it in a moment. I'm going to show you how to do that. But for now, you see this is missing that element. So we're going to go to our blocks, design blocks, and there it is. So then we grab it, and we're just going to put it where we want it, which is underneath here. Okay, and there it is. So now we just have to do some adjusting of the spacing. And it's showing up like this because it's taking what it sees from the other one. So we just have to adjust it to where we want it. That seems about right. And there we have it. So now we basically have all the elements, and we have a duplicate of what we had done on this page, or we recreated this page. Okay, so we have that. Now I'm going to show you how to save this page. Okay, and so what you want to do is you want to go to your pages. Okay, remember we made a duplicate of this page. And if we go into these three dots here, we want to rename the page. Okay, and I'm going to rename this thank you demo. And okay, and thank you demo. All right, and the other thing I want to show you, and we're not going to get too much into this right now. I'll show you in another training. When you want to edit your SEO for SEO, this is where you would put, we just named the page, but this is where we put the name of our URL, our head titles, our meta descriptions, and tracking codes and stuff like that. So I just wanted to kind of show you where that was at, but we're not going to deal with that right now. So now we'll go back to our pages. We have our thank you demo page. Okay, so if we go back to our home, okay, which is our opt-in page, then you can see up here we have the thank you demo page. We can go select it from there, which is pretty nifty. And if we want to, we can go ahead and rename that from home, because this is a funnel, it's not a website. You would do the same thing if you were building a website and have all the pages. So let's go ahead and rename that home to bar collar opt-in, let's say. And then you click on this checkbox, okay, and there it is. So now we have the bar collar opt-in and the thank you demo. All right, so now we're coming along here. We've now recreated this page and this page, okay? And so remember, once they get to once they've opted in, they're going to get an email, okay? I'm going to show you that in the next video. Basically, the email aspect of this, just a quick overview of it. And they're going to opt in, and when they opt in, they're going to automatically get a PDF that I promised them, okay? And that's this ebook here. When they continue, after they've hit get my report, it's going to take them to this page, okay? And then this is basically telling them thank you. And then if they want to get these additional 4 ebooks for free, they're going to find out how by clicking on that button, and then it's going to take them to this page, which is the actual offer, okay, where I want to sell them something, okay? And then in the next training, I'm going to show you how to set up in Groovesell the products, and also how they get access to these 4 bonuses. All right, so let's keep moving forward. And again, I'm going to try to condense this as much as possible to save as much time as possible, because I think you get the idea now of how easy it is to build with these elements. It just takes practice. You go in, and as I mentioned earlier, it's only going to get easier. So remember, what we can do now is we can just make a copy of either one of these pages, because we want to, basically all we want to do is save this header and footer. Everything else we can recreate really quickly. Okay, and so if we look at this, we just see, oh, okay, we have a paragraph, we have a headline, maybe another paragraph section, and then we have 2 columns here, and then basically remember the icon and list, and then another headline, and then we've already saved this, so we can grab this in there as well as this. So that should be pretty quick. So let's go ahead and do that. So if we go back to our thank you demo, we can go to pages, and then let's just copy another page, make a copy of this thank you page, okay? So we're going to go ahead here, and we're going to hit clone. Okay, and you see now we're working in the thank you copy, okay? And so we can go ahead and save this page out now, and we're going to rename it, and we're going to rename it to collar, offer demo, and then hit the check mark, and there we go. So now we are working with our duplicate pages. So let's see if we can keep any of this information here. So let's go ahead and take a look. All right, and okay, all right, so it looks like we can keep this and that. No, actually we'll want to just create another version of that. I can show you that real quick. All right, so the first thing we want is the text that goes in this area. So there's three little sections, okay? So paragraph, headline, paragraph. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm actually just going to delete this and start from scratch here. All right. So we'll go to blocks. We're going to add an empty container. Put it at the top, not at the top there. Let's see. Okay. And I'm going to pull this on the bottom. All right, so let's work with this. Let's go ahead and just give it some spacing. All right, so here we're going to work with one column. Okay, one column for this. Elements. One column. Okay, we're going to put in one column, and then we're going to put in our text. So we are going to put in a paragraph, a header, and another paragraph. Okay, and then we're just going to copy. Okay, so we have that. So let's adjust this how we want it. So we want a orange color, make that bold. Let's change this font, change the size, center it. All right, so that's probably right. And then this section here, we want to center it. Same thing, change the size to, let's take a look at the size. Okay, it's much larger. Something like that, and the color is something like that. And then this font is italicized, a little larger, and centered. Okay, so we're going to center it, change the font, change the size. And italicize. All right, and now I can see we need some more space up here. So I'm going to select on the block to give it some spacing on top of the margin. All right. A little bit more. Again, it doesn't have to be exact. You get the idea here. And what's next? So now we're on to this section. So this section utilizes two columns. And again, I think you get the idea of how to build the columns and then adjust everything. So for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to show you the continue on with our neat little trick where we basically would save this section out and then just drag it in. And then these other sections we can do just to save time because, obviously by now you go over to your block, you select an empty container, you drag it over, you see how many columns that you're working with, and then you put in your text, your images, and all that. So to save time, I'm going to go ahead and go over to the previous one. Which is this one. Open editor. And we're going to go to the offer. And we're actually going to save this entire block as a favorite. No category. Save. and we'll go back to where we're working with our other project. Which is the demo. Open the demo. All right, so we come back to our collar offer demo, and we're going to go ahead and pull in what we just saved. And that would be this. We're going to put it in right here. All right, so you can see now, not that, here, and we just pulled that in. So we're looking good, right? So that saved us a lot of time. So let's move on to the next section, which is this section. So I can go ahead and save that and bring it in, but I'm just going to show you just to keep demonstrating how this works. So let's go ahead and pull in the next section, which would be this basically icon and text, okay? And this is just one column, okay? And we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. So we go to our blocks, wireframes, empty container. I'm going to put this underneath here. And it's, as I mentioned, that's only one column. One column goes there, and we're going to put our text, right? But it's the icon list item. Okay, and now we go to copy and paste our text. Okay, and this is bold, and this is actually it's all gray. Okay, and so now we can just, let's go ahead and put our icon in, and that's just a dog. So I select that, update, okay, there it is. And now we just can basically, how many did we say we needed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we can just duplicate this. Oops. You just have to remember you have this undo. If you make a mistake, you can always undo, but we want to select the entire block. Actually, yeah. So let's duplicate that, and we're going to just get 5 of them. All right, and now we just copy and paste. And it copies over the same styling, or not styling, but color of what we're copying. So we'll just have to redo that. That's not a big deal. So let's copy, paste. All right, so that's copied and paste, and then we're just going to change the color. For each one of these. Okay, and we already did that first one, and we're just going to make these bold so that we're consistent. All right, so now we can use some space. You know what? I actually I shouldn't have duplicated this whole block. I should have just created the list. I should have done this. Let's see if this works still. So I want to not have, see right now I'm just selected in the text. I want to have the list icon. So if I duplicate this, let's try that. One, let's do it again. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the reason I'm doing this is I want this to be all actually one element rather than different blocks for each, because then I got to adjust the spacing for each one of those. So I'm actually glad I did that just to show you. So now I'm going to delete those original 5 that I created here. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I think okay, so now I can just select this entire block that has all my list elements inside of it, and now I can just adjust spacing one time. So hopefully that makes sense. So now I can just move this down, just give it a little bit more room to breathe. So let's take a look. Okay, so we got some air there as well. And now we just need a headline, and we have this images that we already have in a buy now button. So let's do this. Sorry, let me take one more look. Okay, the headline and then the images. So we have the images, all we need is a headline. So we go back here, empty container, put this where we want it, which is in between. Sometimes it doesn't quite put it, there it is. Play with it a little bit, and then we're going to want one column. All right, one column, and then we want our headline text. Here we go, and then we're just going to copy this. Paste it, center it, color it, make it larger. Take a look. It's italicized also, and actually looks like it's a darker blue. Italicized, and let's try that blue. Okay, and then we have that, and we can delete that underneath, right? This is from the other page, because we duplicated the whole entire page. So we're going to delete that block. We're going to delete this block. And now we still have the button, which is let's see, which is good because we can just change the color and the text and put buy now. All right, so let's do that. Let's change the color and buy now. Let me just give it a little bit more space here. And I think this is bold, so let's just give it a little bit more space. A little more space, make it bolder. All right, bolded. Select this. Button. Background color. We're using, what are we using? We're using like an orangey. I'll double check it, but let's change the text to buy now. Update. And let's take a look. Oh, it's a real deep orange. So we'll change it to that. And actually, let's copy the same orange that we have here. Let's take a look. And we'll go to the background and look at that orange there. And we can just copy this and apply it here so that we're consistent. Background. And we want to paste this in. And there you go. So now we just recreated this page. Okay? And so what we want to do is we want to make sure we save it. And so now we have our opt-in page that we created. We have our thank you page we created. And we have our actual offer page. All right. So there you go. So in our next training, what we're going to do is I'll be showing you Groovesell, okay, how this integrates with Groovesell, which is part of what you get for free. You get Groovepages and you get Groovesell, and actually you get Groove Affiliate. So you can have affiliate programs. You can create affiliates for your products. And but the Groovesell aspect of this will essentially show you what we're going to do. I'll explain it real quick. We're going to set up the products, okay? So this is a PDF. We don't have to set that up because that's going to be delivered through our email. But once they opt in and they get to our offer page, our actual offer page, and they want to buy, we're going to set up the gateway so that they can buy your product, and also how they're going to get access to these ebooks. Okay, and so we're going to show you the funnel inside of Groovesell, and then I'm just going to give you a quick look at the email, how that's set up and in your autoresponder. But again, as a reminder, once this goes out of beta and is launched, you're going to actually, if you upgrade or you get on the plan that has Groovemail, it's all going to be integrated into all one platform. So that's what's great about it. So again, if you haven't signed up for your free account, go ahead, sign up in the link below. And also when you sign up through my link, I'm going to give you access to a special training that is from Mike Filsain is hosting it with an internet rock star named Paul Murphy, who has actually cracked the code on how to get your funnels, get your pages to the top of Google and videos on YouTube. So go ahead and get that free access by signing up to the link below. And I'll see you in the next video, which will conclude our training, this 3-part series of our walkthrough. Okay, see you then.